My name is Insane Raven, and I am back with another episode of Tales of the Hunt podcast. Today we're going to be talking about World War II, Call of Duty. Easily the most forgettable and least important Call of Duty game I think I've platinumed. Which, I think at this point actually says something. But this is the Lightning Handler trophy. The trophies in this game get broken down into pretty much 3 different segments. Like all Call of Duty games at this point. You got your co-op mode. In this game, it's zombies. It's Nazi zombies, because they wanted to bring that back. There's the campaign mode, and then there is the multiplayer mode. Each campaign level gets its own miscellaneous trophy, as well as and picking up random pieces of collectibles throughout the thing, which I'm not going to go into too much detail here, just as this is your standard Call of Duty trophy type checklist. I'm going to be going into the much more minute details of the miscellaneous trophies as far as I can remember. As you can see, this was about 4 years ago, but so kind of just based off memory, we're going to be going through and all that. In some of the later ones, we will have pictures that kind of help and guide us along. But for these early ones, we're not going to have any of that, unfortunately. This is the Lightning Handler trophy. I actually got this trophy on camera for you guys. It is part of the Insane Raven's first attempt on whatever Final Reich. I'm not sure if that's actually what I called the video. I'm pretty sure I called the German was for that. If you want to go see that, I don't recommend it, but I made a playlist of it. The thing about this trophy is that you don't have to do it actually. The only person that has to do it is someone on your team. If someone on your team of 4 survivors gets it done, you will get this trophy. Solo, what you need to do is you need to follow all the instructions that come with the egg. It's quite simple and does require you to do some of the legwork, but it's not that hard. And as it's my first trophy of this game, alright, this one is a trophy that you can get by not even meaning to get it and kind of being dumb. I was looking at zombies coming through a door, and yes, I am talking about looking around at this point. I was shooting at zombies coming through a door, and I accidentally shot Dr. around as he is hiding in the doors that zombies are coming through. I didn't mean to do it, but it did get me a trophy, so I can't be too upset about it. So yeah, all in all, not a bad one of the ones that you'll probably get without even realizing it. The next trophy is gonna be called Buck Private. This is gonna be a pretty easy. If you're familiar with Call of Duty, you can probably get it in your first round of multiplayer. What you're going to do is you're going to just get 10 kills while playing online multiplayer, and the trophy should be yours. I don't remember any of these multiplayer trophies specifically being glitched, although there were reports of it glitching out and causing problems for some people. Now, I personally don't have any experience with that, so I can't. That is still a problem, or if that's been, kind of patched out of existence. I can only tell of my experience kind of what I meant. So, for the Divisional Commander Trophy, we are going to be basically just picking a class. With that, I didn't notice any big differences between the classes in any real. Besides the equipment, there's certain access to equipment that certain classes have and others don't. I didn't really get a big deal. I went airborne with mine. It seemed the initial equipment was equipment for my kind of playstyle, so that's what I ended up using. And I immediately ended up prestiging that division, as I pretty much stuck with that division the entire time. Nothing too hard, just kind of something to on. War matches, the Tour of Duty trophy is gonna be 5 matches. Now, these matches get pretty long, but if you have any experience in the series, this isn't actually anything new. You should be kind of surprised that Call of Duty pick up for seemingly one game, that game being World War, flipping it completely, which is again kind of weird. Now, I do want to clarify, this is actually gave a shit about when it comes to Call of Duty. They might have added it in World War back in Black Ops and Call of Duty to give its full title, or the Modern Warfare remake, example, whatever the fuck you want to call that. But for me, is to my experience there, this is the last one that they did. All you gotta do is win 5 of those matches. They do require the normal kind of match, but as you can see, I did still get it by pretty quickly in this final match, which I got done in under 10 minutes. It's not really meant to do that, but you know, Call of Duty is a bit of a beautiful. Alright, so then the next trophy is Long Way from Texas. I'm not going to talk about that much just because it is complete the first mission in the campaign mode. Next trophy is Long Way from Texas. I'm not going to really go into it for completing the mission there. But now we're going to talk about killing the Undertaker trophy, which you get for killing the bomber zombie with a shovel. So it's your basic melee tool in the and I'm pretty sure the bomber is just all the maps, but just to be safe, I did all of these kind of final Reich just because I didn't want to risk it. I didn't want to have to go through the ward essentially. So what you need to do is you need to the zombie to death. You can't have him explode. I would recommend just waiting. You can do it like keep wailing on him, hoping he doesn't blow up, or you can just insta kill, be a little smarter, run in and hit him and walk away. That is the smarter and better, but yeah, sometimes an opportunity kind of just comes knocking and you have to. Alright, what's the next trophy? Ooh, the trophy. This is a pretty easy that if you actually do help you with the prestige your rank in multiplayer. This one, what I did is I did a lot of the daily ones, always have them going, as well as completing the basic weekly ones of, hey, kill a bunch of people. I never really took the risk on it, even though that's probably the goal of the trophy, was to kind of get you to some risky moves. I never did that though. I decided, you know what, screw it, I'm just gonna play it safe and make sure I get my XP. And I will say that this is the game that I really invested in. I'm talking about spoke. For this trophy specifically, it's only for doing the daily challenges. There. Just grinding out the XP for the prestige, which we'll talk about that because it's not the time. Oh, there it is. Never mind. It's the time. I'm a liar. The army is for prestiging. You get this at level 56 technically. 55, and then you have to level up one more time to have the ability to prestige, because that makes no sense whatsoever. Like I said, and weekly kind of challenges, dash them in and continue that. Gonna give it a minute because it looked like it was having a stroke, but I think we're all most of the multiplayer in this on hardcore mode with my SMG and kind of making it really easy. But decided, oh, I'm now gonna go platinum this. It's kind of now doable because everything else is by myself. It wasn't completely doable. A lot of the end trophies of with white knuckles is kind of what decided it. Knuckles is gonna be one of those trophies that a lot of people really struggle with because it's not an easy trophy. What you want to do is you want to stack up as a bunch of insta kills. As you can see, I have it in my even though I don't have it, I am at that is the earliest you if it's going by 5 rounds type garbage. That every time those a past round comes around, that you don't get, you want to find your train really early in the match. The early, even if it takes a couple of like throwaway matches, if you just finding your train, it's gonna make it much easier. You basically want to keep on and having a friend shooting off and dobbing and dob. We misspeak here. Weaving through down and shooting zombies as they come down. My main, I'm back at the earliest spot here, was that I would run around a couple down into the hole of the sewer, and then of it, like run up the wall, run back to the main area, coming up through, turn around and shoot at them. Once too close, I'd go and run again. That kind of thing. You have to do that for all 3 rounds that they are active, and they don't actually act these type of zombies until you like. So I do recommend doing that as quickly as possible so you can kind of get on that. The earlier you can get that done, the weaker the rounds when it starts becoming a bit problematic. Has absolutely nothing to do. It's a campaign. Steady instead. The slow and steady trophy that you're actually going to get quite naturally throughout the campaign, especially right here. And this is where you have to protect Zussman at the top of a church chapel in the game, and to aim and shoot off people. Using this mission alone, you should get this. And especially if you're going for the miscellaneous trophy that's also here, which I think will be shots, if I'm correct. Yep. The marksman, like I said, in Stronghold, same exact mission, not missing a while you're going through this whole spot. So just use the focus, and it should get you done very easily. That's no big deal at all. This is more these two. Hey, be aware that this is something you have to do, type thing, more than anything. Alrighty, and that then brings us. This is the next miscellaneous trophy. Call of Duty World War II. A lot of these kind of pseudo stealth missions. There's one where there's even a social stealth, which we're gonna get that kind of back in an Assassin's Creed game. At least I'm saying that now. Who knows? I could be wrong. All is permitted type thing. This is one of the things which is a matter of making sure you don't get up, but as long as the music cue, the spotted voice tracks that kind of come in, it's not going to be a problem. This is one of the game isn't really geared towards stealth, so as long as you have a wider window than you think you do, at least that you initially think that you do, for all of these kind of pseudo stealth missions, but just a kind of is that you do have more space than you think. The game and its mechanics really only geared towards this kind of mission. So scooping on through of trophies, which are more just complete. We're gonna be talking about praise and pass. This is WW2 brought in an attempt to kind of make it feel more grounded to your teammates, which I didn't feel much like a resource I had to use an exploit, which whole idea of like there's a human cost to war. Battlefield 1 did much better, but I'll be talking about that game another day. We're gonna take a not sponsored energy drink. Perfect. Yeah, but pretty much any of your allies to throw you an item in regards to Pearson, who just kind of like spots everyone out for you. You doing a whole playthrough at least once. At least once, of course. Yeah, no doubt. Once on, I recommend doing it once on a really easy one, almost like for cleanup, but getting your main playthrough done and all your main collectible guide done. So between those two playthroughs, you really shouldn't have any issues. These kinds of just because of the nature of the beast. This is another one of those stealth. Have more space than you think. Last checkpoint is really. I believe this is the hardest one. I found this one to be the hardest one, just because like you have no idea what, and the fog is pretty intense. So this is one of the ones where like you kind of just have to touch and go, hide as much as possible, do a bunch of your stealthy stuff, and then dip inside if you have the opportunity. But for the most part, outside and only coming closer into the middle when you have to. Because the other one, Silent Night, it's very much almost the opposite. You kind of want to walk out. Even though the game is very much asking you to stay above, you're in the middle of things and you have to deal with it type thing, which likes. Alright. School of Hard Knocks, another one. You skip that. This is a bit of a weird one. But this is one of the ones that for some reason they were like, hey, you know how your allies can't die, but unless it's a scripted thing, we still want you to feel like you have to protect them. Roll them back. Again, this game does allow you to try to reinforce the idea that your allies and your caring about, and it never me. And that's kind of disappointing. Like when the main stick of your game that you're really trying to work and trying to make function, it's just, it shouldn't be this hard to, like, and I think honestly it's because Call of Duty game when it comes to its big explosions, like nonsense that it kind of throws in. I'm looking at the train crash. Characters seem so much, almost weaker for it. I mean, the more to go through them. So, one of those things. The suppressive is one of the trophies that it's quite simple if you know it. The first time I did it, because it's more of just a matter of like, hey, understand the timing of it. If you can understand how long it takes for him to go from A to B, then it's fine. Like, watch the gunner kind of shoot a bunch of times first, and make sure that the is cleared before he runs. I recommend letting it, like, trying it out once or twice to kind of give it a test to see where he's running first, and then going forward. Have an idea of where the guy's gonna go, but basic information is needed first. You know what I mean? Alright, Dustman, not gonna talk about that, not gonna talk about that, talk about that. I've got you. This is a weird trophy. This is a very weird trophy. Because this game has a number of collectibles in it. There's a heroic action, there's actual random floors. There are the games like, hey, we want you to pick this up because it's important. It makes very little sense. And this is one of the ones that's almost like a stopgap trophy. You get the 5 different enemies, 5 different allies in danger to be aware of the surroundings. To do of like, hey, you gotta remember these are people. These are is kind of done through the trophies, which is wrong. I think like because of that, this is more of the more unique. But the game itself fails to jump on that, and it's evident. Only reason why I remember those is because I can read their names on screen. I don't remember any of them. So this is just one of the stop trophies that games sometimes do. Alright, moving on. What we got? That's another stealth trophy. We've already kind of talked about that and infiltrated. That's another thing we've already talked about. Quarter given. This is one of the trophies that's very much a matter of heroic actions I've talked about. So there's 3 types of heroic actions. There's the there's the groups of people to surrender type trophies. You'll get this for killing the majority of people, and then they'll put their hands up. I believe this is the only guy left in this room. If you look around this room, everyone else is dead in this shot, and you just kind of don't have to shoot him. But reinstating the fact it's like, no, these are people and all that stuff, and you into 4 different groups. Really easy to do it, and plus you're gonna get trophies for getting all the collectibles. As a heroic action counts as a collectible. Moving on. Chain smoker. Distract 50 enemies with smoke grenades. This is gonna be done at least like the last mission, I think. No, this is the last mission. This is the bridge mission. Pretty much just because there's so many enemies. You can just be throwing grenades, have styles replenish your grenades, and just keep chucking them. Just because of how many enemies. As long as you've been using all of your, it's not going to be okay. You have to use your materials because all of the allies will, if you have space to accept, with the exception of Pearson, who his is just an ability that he does. Moving on. There you go, Pearson. There you go. Campaign. All that stuff we've already talked about. That works. This is for completing the easy Easter egg. This is for doing the egg. It's for following all the instructions up in the top corner that you get. Highly recommend getting a group of people to do it with you. Each one of you guys, almost with all zombie Easter egg trophies that I'm doing, just because one, the zombies community is great. I'm always capable of finding someone who just wants to enjoy it. I highly recommend getting connected with those people through either like Call of Duty forums or something like that, and just be like, hey, can I? As long as you pull your own weight and you don't actively hurt, you should be able to get it. No, easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Hiccup. Wall without taking damage. One of the lucky few. This is gonna be for the D-Day campaign. This trophy sucks. Putting it. What you want to do is that there's a crater right in front of you. As soon as you get off the boat, run there, have the gunfire go. Then you're gonna run to your where a couple of people are hiding. Run, dive there. Then you're gonna go to, I don't know the word of it, but on the right hand side, like sticks of nonsense, go covered from spot to spot. And it's pretty good that way. It's gonna take a lot of time doing it. I know it's gonna get frustrating. You know, it's worth it. You know, it's a cool trophy. Plus, with not even 1% of people having it, it's Alright, next trophy up on our little podcast, The Force, is going to be Ak Ak. It is the sound that an anti-air gun makes when you shoot it. And this is one of the first of 2 trophies that are basically using the same mechanics, improving mastery over that mechanic. So the first time I'm going to use it, I believe, I want to make sure I'm getting this right, is in Operation Cobra. As you can read right there. Basically, for someone who is very good at who's proficient in Call of Duty, this trophy actually proved a little bit more difficult for me personally because it's something I'm not really used to doing. I'm not really used to shooting down planes. It's not something that most Call of Duty games don't ask you to do at all. So, Ak Ak, and specifically the other one that we're going to talk about later, Flyboys, and the Flyboys, Ak Ak, and the one in the Battle of the Bulge trophies ended up being some of the most difficult trophies for me specifically. All you really have to do is take a couple of times to learn the patterns of where the planes come by, and then shoot a little bit ahead of them. One of the things that I really struggled with for some reason when it came to this trophy was I was always shooting where the plane was and not where the plane was going. The delay on the gun is enough of a problem where you're not going to get the trophy if you're just shooting in the past. And what I mean by that is by shooting where the mind on is something you would be wise to be aware of if you're going to go for these trophies. Next is Sunday Driver. Complete the driving portion in SOE without hitting any obstacles. I will say, straight up, this is my favorite picture of a trophy ever. Look at that man's face. This is a AAA game, and that man is bugging the fuck out. Love it. But, so this trophy, the easiest trophy, Sunday Driver, the trophy's name, doesn't even stipulate. Like, a Sunday drive is not meant to be taken slowly. As long as you are still in distance and you don't fail out of the mission, you can drive as slow as you want and circumnavigate some of the stuff. Go into it thinking, I have to race this, I have to go as fast as I can, you are going to get overstressed out, and that is going to cause you to lose often than not. If you just drive and don't really worry about anything else besides driving, you will be fine. It's not a hard trophy at all. I just love that man's face. Can we just stare at his face? Just stare at his face. Look at those eyes. He has seen things. He has been through things. Gasoline Cowboy. This trophy, I absolutely hated Gasoline Cowboy for the main reason. This trophy, what you end up doing is if you get hit once by one of the enemy tanks, that is it. You are not allowed to get hit another time. It's safe. You gotta play it smart, and you just gotta be so much control gameplay than Call of Duty has any right to ask you for. But just play it safe, because you through that barely having mission and then having to replay that entire mission all over again. It sucks. I just started saying fuck it, quit, restart checkpoint, go again. This trophy done. Rescuer. This is for 10 enemies saved in a struggle. This is another good stopgap trophies for the heroic action trophies. I have to read it up. You have to get all the heroic action. It's going to be one of the things you have to do. So just know that and continue. Defender. This is what the trophy's called. This trophy can go so. Hated this trophy. Same tips I kind of have for Ak. You just make sure you will instead of on schedule, and it's not that difficult, but it is incredibly frustrating. A series of planes that kind of just swoop in with very little to kind of counteract. Sit with it. It's awful. I don't recommend it. A lot of the trophies aren't difficult per se, but there's just that one thing that makes it annoying. Makes it like easily missable, and it's just like, God, really? And Defender is the Rhine. Just the Rhine. Alright. I do not recommend doing any of the miscellaneous trophies in a group, in a public match. They will mess up your run, and it is absolutely frustrating. So what you want to do here, I'm at round 10 is when the big hole. Get a group of zombies similar like this. Pepper the big hammer boy, big mallet boy. Once, as long as you understand that he moves, he would change his course to more accurately. You can kind of plan for it to the best of your abilities. Try to do it with other people. Shoot your zombies. They're just gonna make it a nightmare. While doing the harder Easter egg trophy, and nope, it just worked. It was only when I set up the town that I actually got it. Incredibly frustrating because of other people. The trophy itself is pretty easy. Understanding how the zombies move, understanding their movement, getting your basic core tenets of zombie training down, especially when you have an enemy type that almost is designed, this guy and the other guy, to the bomber guys, movement in your trains. It's speaking of, this one I did, I'm pretty sure I got it by accident. I think it glitched out on me, I'm gonna be honest. Think how I got it. I don't think there are 10 zombies. So what you want to do here is zombies, same like with strike. I didn't do it this way, but c'est la vie. What I ended up doing, what I was gonna say was use your insta kill plan, but it looks like what I did here, they kind of just blew up a bunch, and then had the red mist bomb be the final killing blow. Again, all these trophies, zombies trophies, I don't recommend doing it with another person. I it up yourself and kind of taking care of business. So next, pressure cooker trophy that I personally and break a lot of people. The purpose of the Call of Duty zombies changed dramatically. New was a different breed. Players, they just are, because the game has changed. As far back as Black on doing Easter egg stuff, even with I'm trying to think, like, because with the big old robots, you didn't really have there to get the map. Yeah, so starting with the Black Ops, doing, or maybe it was even Infinite Warfare. Not important. One of those games meshed together. If you weren't doing Easter egg shit, you were having a blocking the map, because the maps changed. They went from being these like playgrounds to becoming these very much Easter egg. Like, if you weren't doing the Easter egg, you weren't seeing the majority of the map, where hit, in my opinion, a peak Like, you literally had a map. Like, you couldn't just buy doors or whatever. Pressure cooker. The reason why I talk about this is because pressure cooker, to that core mechanical Call of Duty Zombies loop of understanding Easter eggs that aren't necessary to play the game, but make the game easier. Egg for shooting all the lanterns that you see there, 10 of them scattered around the map. You have to shoot each one of them to unlock the mystery box, which then makes this trophy without the mystery. Like, there's no way to manage the mystery box. You have to manage your health and your shield. It's gonna be rough. It is circles and those trains, and if you are a newer zombies, God have mercy on your soul for this trophy. I know I was looking at tips people were using, and besides the tips of using the map and good luck, people were just bitching. I get it. It is a bitch-worthy trophy. And it's only a bronze. Call of Duty bronze. Sinful. Alright. You're gonna have to do if you want to get final Easter egg. You don't have to build all 4 parts in your match. I only built one of them, I think, because that's the only one I knew how to build. Everyone else, you can see one of them is on the floor. They were mental to getting this done. Same thing with getting the next. I personally believe that these codes, whether it be Extinction and Ghost or Call of Duty Zombies, stopped being about an experience and was very much became about the nature of the game. So I have absolutely no qualms about to get Dark Arts, and both of these trophies you get for doing the harder Easter egg. Basically, doing the Dark Reunion is a couple more extra steps that I'm really aware of that the game doesn't tell you. It actually feels like in the map, all the perks unlocked, and you get a fancy melee weapon, which is the sword which I'm holding on right now. That might be the hilt. I might be a dirty lie. Remember, but yeah, it's just to get a group of people to learning the steps, watching guides, doing your research, and just a lot of the times this and a lot of these Easter egg thing that unless you are dedicating your time to it, you get it. Of putting in the research skill, like there really is no to it, unfortunately. So community, they are an absolute delight. I said it earlier, this podcast, like a lot of times when it comes to these other ones, you have people who just want to play the game and just want to enjoy the game. So as long as you're not detriment to them and to their play style, you should be able to get this show. Alright, which then kind of leads us to the trophies, which is collecting all the 3 mementos per level. Each one of them are kind of weird, which makes them harder to notice, because a lot of times you won't even know that you have to pick up this item, that it is a collectible. It is so use a guide. I'll link one in this description down below. Next one is finishing the on veteran service. I'm not going to talk about that. I thought I was, and then I decided not to. Boy, I hate this trophy. This trophy made me go insane. So, what I recommend for doing this one, straight up, there is no cutesy way of saying it. Put it on, and if you're not getting 6, like, go for 5 kills on the first run, because in this game where killing matters and bloody your friends are a detriment to you, because they're killers when it comes to this. Because even if you keep running and keep pushing through, like I will say that this veteran mode is one of the easiest veteran modes in the game. I think it's this one and like they're just really easy. It's not even like they just keep pushing through and you'll make it type things. It's incredibly frustrating that way. It's so like if this is what a flight simulator game would be like, I never want to touch that genre of game. There's a thing you can make me do that would make me want to. This trophy alone, I'm saying screw that. But you're going for 5 kills in the first round, and then you gotta just keep to the second round. I did this. This is the one trophy. I don't know, man. Like, I don't belong in a Call of Duty game because of just how completely not around a plane is. Like, Call of Duty is a first-person shooter series. It's a first-person bland series. Hopping a plane and flash. Awful. I hated it. Give me my platinum. The rarest platinum trophy I have. Oh no, it's the second rarest. It's my second rarest platinum trophy. Because Infinite Warfare still claims that one. But yeah, I hate Flyboys. I thought that the game was pretty inoffensive. Call of Duty game. I cared about the multiplayer. Like, man, I'm at this point. I'm not gonna lie. Black Ops 4 was a misstep in a lot of ways. Black Ops 4 would be the last up-to-date free, like Modern Warfare 2 remake was. Remaster was. Other than that, I'm done. Thank you.